This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. First and foremost, I would like to say, Kala Yabashim Yashai, Bashim Kakudash, the ones to the apostles and elders, great Milson, and well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the whole flag, tell your brothers out to pushing the word in truth and sincerity. Shalom, tell your brothers stay strong, pushing this quick lesson. And I want to get into the fact that as of right now, during this generation, which is honestly the worst generation out of all generations of the nation of Israel throughout the history of time. Okay, now think about that. Okay, think about what I just said. This generation is the worst generation of the history of Israel, of all time. Because right now, when it comes to it, man, this new age, as they call it or whatever, these recent years, when it comes to our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, the children that have came out of this generation, man, are fucking straight up demons, man. They're little gremlins, they're little monsters. And not just this generation, but even the one before that and the one before that one. Okay, really, any generation of Israel that came out after the 60s, and I'm talking about the whole nation of Israel, okay, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and even the ones that might look like so-called Edomites, even the ones that might look like so-called Chinese, so-called Samoan, so-called, whatever. I'm putting them in the group as well, because look, at the end of the day, even if you might look like the other nations, and even though you might look like an Edomite, at the end of the day, you're going through the curses as well. Okay, even though you might have so-called pale skin, looking like a white boy, guess what? You're still going through the curses, because at the end of the day, you're an Israelite. Okay, your spirit is that of an Israelite. So even you, okay, I'm putting you in the group as well. Okay, but of course, if you might look like a so-called white boy, but you might have came out of the tribe of Judah, or maybe the tribe of Gad, or Ephraim, or maybe out of the tribe of Issachar, whatever, right? But you look like a white boy, guess what? And you're going through shit. You're going through the same curses that you read in Deuteronomy 28. Guess what? More than likely, you're in Israel. Okay, if you're a so-called Samoan, the so-called Chinese, Japanese, and you're going through the curses that are written in Deuteronomy 28, guess what? More than likely, you're of the nation of Israel. Okay, so I'm putting that, I'm talking about them too, okay, because they're Israelites as well. But just, for the sake of people to understand what I'm talking about, is that's why we always say first the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, but the people that look like the other nations, guess what? They're part of the tribes as well. Okay, whatever tribe they might have came out of, but like I said, these newer generations, man, these are the wickedest generations out of the history of the nation of Israel throughout time, of all time. Okay, because this is where the guns came in, the drugs, the gangs, the wicked, the shit. I was about to say the word, but good thing I held it back. But being an alphabet person, right now is the worst time when you turn on the TV, all you see is alphabet, alphabetical jakes. Alphabetical so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, man, acting like a fucking, acting like a woman. You see what I'm saying? So these are the worst generations of all time regarding our people, man. And then when it comes to them, they might see someone that looks like them. You might see a so-called Negro looking at another Negro sideways, and they'll start killing each other. Same thing with the other tribes. Same thing with the so-called Latinos. They might see another Latino, so-called Latino. They'll start killing each other. Native Americans, the same thing. They'll start killing each other. So the love of many, has waxing cold. Like it says here, Matthew 24:12, and because iniquity shall abound. Exactly. And right now, we're at the highest peak of iniquity. We're at the highest peak of wickedness, of evil. Okay, and not just amongst Israel, but even throughout the world, man. This is the most hateful, the most disgusting, filthy, wicked, the wickedest, most evil time in history. Okay, this is the most wickedest time in history, man. So it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, man. There ain't no more love out there, man. People don't love you no more. People don't show compassion and loyalty. Ain't none of that shit no more, man. People are only looking out for themselves. People only care about themselves. Okay, this is a selfish ass world that we're living in. Okay, and I'm talking about Israel right now. Okay, ain't no love amongst our people anymore, because when they see each other, they see the enemy. They see the devil. They'll look at Esau, the real devil. They'll look at the so-called white man. Shit, they have nothing to say but nice things, man. Oh, hey, how you doing there? They'll start talking like a fucking Edomite. You see what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. So when they'll give Esau a pass, here it is. Esau has done us the dirtiest. He's done the scummiest shit to us. He's done everything in the book to us. But our people give him a pass. But when it comes to giving a pass to another one of our kind, fuck no. They're not letting it slide. They're gonna get them. Okay, they're gonna attack them. They're gonna or they'll steal something from them. They'll start stealing our shit. Here it is. We don't have nothing, but our people will come to the same place. We live in the same place pretty much, but they won't go to Esau's place and rob them. Fuck no. They'll come rob another poor individual that don't have shit. And what ends up happening sometimes, this demon, this so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indian demon, they'll go into the same places we live in. They'll rob us, and sometimes shit goes bad, and they'll kill the individual they were robbing. So I mean, everything right now, like I said once again, these last generations are the most wickedest generations in the history of time regarding Israel. Okay, but also, I'm gonna get to the point as well that these are part of the curses. Okay, this all goes back to the curses. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and get Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28 verse 19, and it says, "Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out." So as soon as we're born, okay, from the cradle to the grave, okay, as soon as we're born or to the point we die, all our life is hell. Our life is hell. Okay, we're born in fucked up situations. We're born in the bad places of the different cities. We're born with family members who are into that wicked ass lifestyle of being in the streets and selling shit, just getting in trouble. Or not only that, even when it comes to diseases, when it comes to diseases, who do you think is dying the most of different types of diseases? Diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, heart attacks, cancer. Our people, man, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Why is that happening to us? Because the curses. Okay, going back to the curses, the Most High cursed us because we broke the law, statutes, and commandments. We turned our back on the Lord, on Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So he vexed us, he cursed us, he threw the book on us, man, pretty much. Okay, but going back to the point, cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. So ain't nothing good, man. As soon as we're born, man, just know that we were born to lose. We were born to fail. Okay, I'm talking about the two-thirds now. When it comes to the elect right now, we were born to win. Okay, Lord willing, I'm one of those men, the hopeful elect. That's why we say we are the hopeful elect. We hope we are part of that number, and the 1/3 as well. Okay, we were born to win. That's the beautiful thing about it, is the Most High, he's about to, flip the script on Esau. Or really, he's about to flip the script on everything. Okay, he's going to turn everything upwards. Okay, not upside down, but, up to the upside. To the side it's supposed to be. Okay, and he's going to turn everything, because right now everything is turned to wickedness. But the Most High is going to turn everything back to righteousness. Okay, and that's the time we're living in right now, because right now you see the hopeful elect, you see them rising up, you see them waking up, having the 100% truth, learning from the true prophets of the Lord, which is the Apostle, Great Millstone on down. Okay, so that's the beautiful thing, is the Most High, turning everything back to the way it's supposed to be. And we were born to win. Okay, so that's a beautiful thing as well. Now think about that, man. Like I said, this is the most wickedest generation of all time, but this is also one of the generations that the prophets are coming back into. You know, the elect. You see what I'm saying? During these generations, you know, it was during the time also where the righteous were being, you know, risen. Of course, it was just a small number, but that's how the Most High rose. The Most High doesn't deal with in big numbers. Okay, the Most High rose in small numbers. Okay, he only you know, gives certain things to a small number of people, to a small number of men. Okay, let me put that straight, men, to a small number of men. You see what I'm saying? But going back to the point, it all goes back to the curses. Okay, so right now, it's the most wickedest, but it's also because the Most High is punishing us. And he threw the curses on us. Why? Because we went against him. You see what I'm saying? So once again, cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. And even when it comes to our children, they're in the curses too. Okay, these curses cannot be uplifted off of us, you know, from just, for example, let's say one of the elect, because a lot of brothers do have children out there that are part of the elect. Just because you're part of the elect and you have a newborn son or whatever, or you have children, that don't mean they don't have the curses as well. Guess what? Our children are cursed as well. Okay, our children are cursed as well. They're born into the only way these curses are going to be uplifted off of us is when the Lord Yahweh Shai comes and delivers us from this man, from the devil, from Esau, the so-called white man. Okay, but until then, we're still underneath the curses. But like I said, our children are in the curses as well. Oh, which one is it? Let me see. Verse 18, it says, "Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep." So the fruit of our body, what is the fruit of our body? That's talking about our children. Okay, our children are cursed as well. And like I said, imagine the children of the 2/3. Well, guess what? I mean, they're part of the 2/3 as well. But imagine the children that these demons of our people are having out here. They're worse than their parents. Here it is, their parents were doing this dumb shit in the streets or whatever. Or, you know, even committing adultery and things of that nature. But guess what? Their children come out to be worse than what their parents were, man. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, come on, man. If you don't want to get up out of here, if you don't want the Lord to deliver us up out of here, when we can't even enjoy our children in this society, man, first of all, they're not even our children because the state or the government owns our children. Okay, all of us, right? As a matter of fact, not just our children, all of us are owned by Esau, by the government. Okay, we all gotta abide by Esau's rules. So guess what? At the end of the day, we're all slaves. We're still in captivity. We're still in slavery, man. We all had to go through the school system and be taught that bullshit. We all had to, or not had to, but we all have to abide by Esau's rules and regulations. Because if you don't, guess what ends up happening? You're going to be thrown in prison. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we got to follow his rules. Which some rules are pretty good. Don't get it twisted. Right? Now, when you commit murder, he really goes half during, on some laws he'll go halfway. And what I mean by that, I'll give you an example. When it comes to murder, right? Let's say someone murders and rapes your wife. As a man, according to the law of the Heavenly Father, you have the right to put that individual to death. You have the right to kill him. You see, but in this society, what ends up happening? You kill the dude that did that to your wife, who raped her and murdered her, cold-blooded. You kill the individual, which is that's a righteous act. Now you end up going to prison for the rest of your life. You see, now that's fucked up. So Esau only goes halfway with some of his laws, which are kind of good, but not really. You see? At the end of the day, Esau says this is a Christian nation. He believes in the Most High. He believes in the laws. And no, he doesn't, because he's not following the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Lord put in the scriptures for us to live by. You see? As a matter of fact, I believe it was during the 60s, during the 70s, you know, one thing, you know, in the school systems, they would actually teach the 10th commandments. They would actually teach the Bible. But what happened? Esau took all of that out. You see, because he doesn't want people to live by the real rules and regulations, which is the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So this devil, come on, man, he's a snake. He says he believes in the Most High, he trusts in him. You know, this is a Christian nation, but fuck no, it ain't. Why are they taking out the 10 commandments? Why are they taking out the Bibles out of the school systems? You know, why isn't he really, you know, teaching or pushing the real laws, the laws of the scriptures of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua? Because he's really a Satanist. He's really a devil. He's an Edomite. Okay. So like I said, even you know, our children, us, all of us, we're still in captivity underneath this devil. Okay, we're still in slavery. Ain't none of us free. But that goes back to the curses. Okay, but anyways, with that, Lord willing, was edifying. Until next time, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat Say Shalom.